What is up, beautiful people? Welcome back to the channel. Another V1 live stream coming at you from North Texas. It's a beautiful day here in Texas. It's only about 88 degrees outside, nice and cool. Thought it'd be a good day to come to the office, get a nice stream for everybody. Just finished up a 3-day trip for real world flying. So back home today, hanging out with you guys. And as weird as my wife may think it is, just got done flying the real airplane, I want to come back and fly the Fenix Airbus yet again. I actually put a poll in chat to see which airplane we were going to fly today. I thought maybe the fly-by-wire 320 was going to win. It was a close race. It did not. We will be flying the fly-by-wire 320 Neo probably next on the next stream, though. We do need to check it out. We need to see how it's been updated, see what's going on. I haven't flown that airplane in quite some time. So we will be back in that probably the next stream, departing Cusco. But today, my friends, we have a very, very fun stream plan. We are taking off where we left off from Lima, Peru, and we're going to head up into the mountains yet again to land at Cusco Airport. This airport sits at 10,800 feet or something like that, close to 11,000 feet MSL. Definitely the highest airport that I've ever flown to, whether it be in the sim or in real life. So it's going to be very interesting flying into there. High density altitude. Hopefully the weather holds out. It's supposed to be pretty clear. Last I checked the forecast. 1 runway operations, RNAV RMP approach going into there in the terrain, in the mountains. It should be a very stunning approach. We do have a nice payware scenery that I picked up from FSDG as well, so I can't wait to see that. Looks like we've got another LAN 320 over there. I think that's Christy. He's going to be flying with us. And over here, I actually saw some other traffic here in Lima. It's kind of busy. We got a 787 heavy jet. We got a Copa Airlines 737 over there. So it's shaping up to be a beautiful day here. I hope you guys are ready to get this show on the road. What is up to Jeremy Harvey in chat? What's going on, man? Good to see you, sir. Paul Shoesmith. Chris Stuper, always a pleasure. Andres MT, good to see you as well. Dougal McTavish, man. Dougal McTavish, thank you for joining the stream. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you here, man. Hope everything is well at home. Hope everything is well over there across the pond. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Juan Andres, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Jeff L. Stephen Hayner, Direct Fubar. What is going on? Absolutely a pleasure to have you. Callie Simmer, Team Vodka. What's up, man? He says he's going to be flying the 310 today. Excellent, excellent. Main Street's good to see you. Brian Baffle, Al W. What is up? Welcome. Mr. Scott is in the house. Ainan's in the house. Richland Music is in the house. Matt Warren, Pete S., Rudar, Chuck Blake, and Mr. Martini. What is up, everybody? Welcome, welcome. I think it's about time we get this show on the road, shall we? It's going to be a lot of fun. We have 1 hour, I think it's blocked at 1 hour and 30 minutes flight time, but it's only going to take about an hour or so to get up there. It's a relatively shorter flight, but it should be that perfect length for our Fenix A320. Diego Arno Fulu, welcome to Private Pilot. Thank you so much, sir, for the support on the channel. Exclamation point, welcome for your new perks here on the channel. Always a pleasure to have new members. Guys, if you're a member of the channel, you get exclusive views to my my YouTube Shorts videos that I make when I'm out flying as well in real life. And if you didn't watch that last one, you need to go check it out right now. I titled it Airbus Rocks. Had a little old school rock music, little Metallica in the background. So if that doesn't get your Airbus juices flowing and make you want to fly airplanes, wow, this guy like walked right up to me. Let's get out of my space, bro. So, but you got to check that video out. I just... If that doesn't get you fired up to fly the Airbus, I don't know what will. So check that out. Diego, you now have access to all that. Thank you, sir. Anon, 4 months membership. Thank you so much. No toy jets for me, V1. A 7.8 Leica Pro. Well, excellent, man. Excellent. Welcome. Glad to have you. What is the route today? Exclamation point. Route. Should get it here once we get the Nightbot to join the channel. But that might be in a minute or two. So here we are. We are live in the Fenix 320, cold and dark. We just took over this airplane from the last crew, came back from our overnight, and we're headed up to Cusco Airport. So let's go ahead and fire this sucker up. 26.7, and yesterday I had to do a battery charging procedure. So I know we talk about always 25.6 volts and greater. Most of the time it is above that, but yesterday I did have to do a battery charge procedure. Thought that was kind of interesting. We did that here in the Fenix before, but let's go ahead and fire this thing up. That's battery 1. That is battery 2. We're going to get some light on here. We're going to get a little landing gear indications. Beautiful. External power will come on. We'll let the airplane power up here for a minute. Tango Kilo, welcome to Commercial Pilot, sir. Thank you for joining the channel. Exclamation point, welcome. When you're for your new perks here on the channel, glad to have you. Welcome on board. V1's next short will be him strangling his real-world FO. Oh my gosh, yeah. So yesterday was a day that, like, I got home. I don't know. I got home around 11 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock, 10:30. Wasn't super late, but after everything that had happened on my last flight home, I could not wind down. My mind was just replaying everything that happened. What could I have done differently? Should I have done something differently? Did I handle it correctly? I didn't go to sleep till about 3 o'clock in the morning because I could not shut my mind off. But that will definitely be, we'll do a podcast debrief on my flight yesterday for those that aren't members. This is something that I keep exclusive to members only. I do podcasts every now and then, and at the end of the podcast, I always do a cockpit confessional or something that's either happened to me, that's either funny, serious, or scary, and I talk about it on the podcast with you guys. And this is definitely going to be a podcastable event, which I just made that word up. But a long story short, it was a go home leg. I had 6 mechanical write-ups by the time I was done. We had a go around, we had a wind shear, and we had an out of SOP event. So it was a wild one. I haven't had a flight like that in quite some time, but that'll be coming to the members here shortly. I can sit here and talk all about it, but we need to get this airplane fired up. Juan, thank you so much for the continued support. He says the South America tour has been awesome so far. I couldn't agree more, Juan. I couldn't agree more, man. It's been a lot of fun. I think we're going to eventually start now making our way to the west. We're gonna hit Cuzco, and then I think we're going to maybe just cut across into Brazil, Argentina, all that good stuff. So it's been a lot of fun. I'd say we're probably about halfway through with kind of what the routing that I want to do. So, but it's been a blast so far. I love flying down here, some beautiful countryside, and just I've actually learned a lot about this part of the world as well. So everything is set there. That's on. Coming up here, we'll do our humps are off. That's fine. We'll do a fire test 1. Should have reduced the failure setting on the sim. Chinar, exactly, man. I wish it were that easy. I wish it was that easy. Up the right-hand side, everything looks good here, and that is out and on. Beautiful. So our overhead panel is set. Let's come down here, check our engine page. We have oil. Let's check our hydraulics. We have hydraulics, and let's check our pressurization, that it is in auto. That is good. That's going to come into play here very soon. The rest of the pedestal looks good. Brakes are set. Yes, they are. And let's go ahead and do an initialization here. Oops. Let's do ATSU. AOC, flight init, and let's go ahead and pull the information. Where is the podcast, Captain? John, just look for, so the one that I'm talking about right now, I haven't done it actually yet, but all the podcasts are under the V1 After Dark playlist. So just go to my channel, go to playlists, and look for the V1 After Dark series. That's where I put all the playlists, or all the podcasts, I should say. My plan to head to Ushuaia. I have no idea where that is, man, but maybe. We'll see. Man, I took the Fenix A320 to Cusco and La Paz, and it really doesn't like it when you forget to push the height altitude landing. Oh, the high elevation landing button? You got it, Steven. We'll try not to forget that today. All right, so we're going to be operating land 357, a cost index of 75. Our cruise altitude per our Simbrief flight plan was flight level 370. That is set. And before we get carried away with the box, let's take a look at our boarding. Let's see what type of boarding situation we have. We only have 91 people today. That's good. Light load, only 11,600 pounds of gas as well. So that's only going to take, how long is it going to take? 15 minutes. We don't have to start boarding just yet. Let's go ahead and we'll continue setting up the airplane, and then we'll start the boarding process here momentarily. No need to babysit all the passengers on board. We're going to depart 16, I believe, to the south. 16, and we're on the Packle 3 departure out to the... no, that's just Packle 3 to Packle from there. Hold on, let's see. Packle, Pavlo, Darky. Yep, that's in there. All right, so SPZO. Here, this what we're going to do. We're going to do the RNAV 28. Approach via Darky. Wait, no, that's not going to work. Hold on, temporary erase. Let's go ahead and do this again. SPZO arrival I want to do the RNAV 28 off of the Darky 1 Alpha, I believe. Or the Dark, I don't know why I'm saying Darky. Dark 1 Alpha. Ah, it's the Dark 1 Charlie. Approach via... I don't think we're going to have a via. Let's see if we load it without the approach via. Let's see what this does. This R&P approach going in here is pretty interesting. We're going to take a good look at it before we actually fly it. Let me put the constraints on. Alright, Enoch. I want to do that curve. Yeah, no, we're not going to do that. So, that's incorrect, or at least that's not what I want to do. So let's take a look at our charts here. It's via NDark or SDark. Thank you, from the north or south. Thank you, Christian. That's what I was looking at. I knew there was a transition we had to file. Let's look at our approach and RNP runway 28. We're coming from the north. I want to take it from... Let's see. Let's zoom in here. Out here from Darky. What is this transition, though? Z60... Or we could come up this way. Z0686. Alright, so let's look at the approach vias again. Approach via NDark. Insert. So I guess that's north. Alright, so Darky Z0920 is the fix after that. That's gonna mess with that, huh? What? I'm trying to see here. I want to link this up. Yeah, that's not good. We're gonna change that. Let's go ahead and reset this. Arrival. RNAV 28. No star. Insert. Now what do we have? If we take the star out, Pablo Darky, I think this is what we want. Z0604. That would be correct. That's what I want to do. We're going to do the RNP, I guess, from the north around the mountain here, right-hand turn, 15,700 foot peak on this approach. This is a no-joke approach coming in here. So that's how I want to set it up. We're actually going to pull that star out of there. Flight Force 77, thank you for the continued support, my friend. Thank you for that. 5 months as a commercial pilot, another month indeed. Thank you so much, Flight Force, for your continued support, my friend. Thank you. I hope you're feeling better as well, man. Getting over the COVID. I think you gave it to Christy because he's got it now too. All right, so our flight plan looks good. We just pulled the star out of there. We're going to go ahead and leave that. Let's go ahead and do a quick secondary init here. Let's go SPJC, SPJC. I keep putting my hand on the screen so I could see this better, but that's ridiculous. It's just the glare coming in the way the sun is right now. It's crazy. Al W, 9 months. Thank you as well for your continued support, my friend. He says, thanks for letting an old guy live vicariously. Al W, man, thank you so much for your continued support. I'm glad you're liking the streams. I'm glad you're liking the content. Thank you for continuing to support the channel, man. Thank you so much. ILS Yankee. Oh, man, really? Let's just do 210. I don't remember what it is. Or that's fine. 221. I don't think we're coming back here. 040. Temperature off the ECAM is 18 degrees. And QNH, if I hit the magic B, is 1018 or 30-6. That is set. Secondary is semi-set. Nothing to put in the RadNav just yet. The init B page, we're going to stop it there. Let's come over to our weight and balance and begin the boarding process. Before we actually begin, what are the cabin temps? 20 degrees. It's a little hot in the cockpit there. Let's go ahead and... Should we open the window? I think we should open the window. Actually, let's go ahead and load aircraft. Wait, I gotta do that first. Hold on. Oh well, alright, I guess we're opening it now. It's open. Cockpit is automatically cooling down. I guess we can start the boarding process from this EFB. Let's just do that, shall we? Oh, it's completely separate. Never mind. It's crazy how this window is. It's do real-time boarding. That's good. Open this back up. There we go. Now we're set. Need to cool it off in here. Temperature's coming down. We're going to start the boarding process. We're going to start refueling. And looks like there's a couple guys pushing back already out there. Look at that. There goes the 7-8. There goes Copa and another Airbus. Pete, thank you for the five-pound donation, man. Appreciate you. Timeout with Jake has become a private pilot. Thank you for joining the channel. Welcome on board, Mr. Jake. Key 6, I put the 3009 on there. My bad. Can't get the hogs with that. Yeah, that's that. All right, we'll be good. If the 3006 and 3009 altimeter setting comes back to haunt us on the departure, we got bigger problems. Just open the FO's window, then I can still use my iPad. Oh, that's a great idea, Richard. Thank you, man. From the
Captain,
charts,
you can also try the visual approach Charlie descend. I think it is in the chart too. It is the most common approach.
ooh, visual approach Charlie. I will look at that. Most common approach in there. Okay. I will take a look at that. Diego, thank you for the $2 super chat, man. Bank and go check right back at you. Or $2 dono, I should say. Thank you. Pedro, this is live traffic. This is well, I shouldn't say live traffic. It is real people traffic. It is from a VATSIM. So all these airplanes you see are actually other players that are at this airport in real time in their airplane. So it's live players. That's called VATSIM. How do you use the aircrafts in your game on VATSIM? What do you mean by that? I'm not sure what you mean. What's the British Airways 320? I don't know. He's a long way from home, isn't he, Stefan? Giles, what's going on? Welcome. Good day, Captain. Thanks for all the amazing content. My pleasure. Welcome, Giles. Welcome aboard, sir. Benny, always a pleasure. Welcome on board, my friend. Welcome on board. We got the window open. We're beginning the boarding process. We got a light load up to Cusco. We're finishing the fueling right now. We're going to be on our way shortly. Welcome on board. Do I have any sort of failure plan for the day? I'm setting up a flight with a dead APU and Gen 1 in op. Ooh, I don't know if you could dispatch with that, Steven. Because now you're down to single generator. I don't know if you could dispatch with that. That would be interesting. You can dispatch with one of the generators in op, but I don't know if you can do no APU and no generator. That would be a company thing. I'd have to look at that. I know you can ferry the airplane. I don't know if you could fly it live because you're down to a single gen. All right, our fueling is complete. We'll put 11.6 there in the fuel. And we're not going to get a prelim message because I messed up again when I did the, when I started the flight from SimBrief. I had the wrong units of measurement on the airplane, so it's not going to give me the prelim load sheet, which is fine. We'll survive. We don't need it anyway. We probably won't even get a final, but we can sync it from the EFB. All right, but our fuel is on board, and we need to make sure it is balanced, like always. So 42.9, 42.9, that's good. Let's go ahead and get our fuel pumps on now. With the fuel pumps on, the fuel's on board, seatbelt sign will come on. This can go in nav position 1. I guess I missed that in my preliminary cockpit flow, and I also missed this over here. All right, that is set. How are we looking over here? I think the temperature is cooled down, so let's go ahead and close the window. This window is so cool, just like the real thing. All right, let's go to ground services. Let's go ahead and pull the aft stairs, close the aft door. Let's go over and do some takeoff prelim calculations. All right, let's go ahead and load. We're going to do 1.6 dry. Flaps optimum, force toga yes, packs on, anti-ice off, sync live weather. We're not going to be able to do a sync a prelim, but that's fine. We're going to be off 1.6, so that is pretty much done. Looking at our taxi brief, going out to 1.6, let's go back to our departure procedure. Let's go to our starred charts, airport, and then a departure. So going to 1.6 here from Lima, very simple. We'll push straight back. We'll join taxiway Alpha at either Alpha 1 or I guess, yeah, we'll just take Alpha 1. Not a big deal. Looks like there's a lot of hot spots here. Means there's been a lot of uh-ohs going on here. But basically, we're going to push straight back. We'll join Alpha 1, probably out here, and then we'll taxi Alpha all the way to runway 16. The PACL 3 departure. No abnormal restrictions on the SID. We've got a couple at or betweens here, between 4 and 6 over Sizen. At or below 9,000 for JC930, at or above 10 for JC945. Obviously, that is for terrain here as we start to go out all the way out to Packle, at or above 210. If you're not above 210 by Packle, you got other problems going on. So hopefully we can make all that. That doesn't seem like it's going to be a problem. If we bang an engine, we got to come back around. We're just going to go straight out over the water. Very simple. We'll continue straight out, speed up, clean up. We'll come back around and land on runway 16. We got the ILS in there for the backup, but I don't think we're going to need it. It's pretty visual here right now. At least, yeah, it's burning off. It's a little bit hazy. With that said, though, we can go ahead and get an actual ATIS. Let's do that real quick. Have I heard the brake fan sounds? Pixelated Wolf, I have indeed. They're pretty good. You can actually see the brakes spinning as well, too, which is really cool. Talk about just modeling everything. Do real-life Airbus pilots believe the 7.3 is a poor man's 320? No. Joshua, good afternoon. Welcome. Time Out with Jake says, I've been watching your streams for the past 6 months, and you've inspired me to further my education and pursue a career in aviation, so thank you. Mr. Jake, well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I'm glad to hear that. That's very exciting news. I hope you continue to pursue your career in aviation and it works out for you, man. Thank you for becoming a member. All right, Anon, you're out of here. Take it easy, bud. I think he's taken off. So let's go ahead and see what we got here for received messages. Weather data right now, 180 to 11, 7,000, scattered at 12, 10, 17, no sig. Beautiful. 1017, which is 3003 is set. 3003 is set. And 3003 is set. We don't have any ATC, so our top altitude will set that to 370. That is also set. And how we do it on boarding? We should be getting close to firing up the EPU here. Voitech, what's going on, man? Cusco is a fun approach. Oh, yes, I cannot wait. I haven't flown it once yet. Lima Center is online. Oh, they did come online. All right. Hold on, let me look at weight and balance real quick. 91 of 47. Let's go ahead and get the APU fired up. We're gonna have to contact Lima Center on 2475. I think we might.
Toga.
2475. Let's go ahead and fire up the APU.
Peru 212, radar contact, climb and maintain flight level 270, fly, proceed direct, upward. Climb, maintain flight level 270,
Sim Gamer, that's awesome, man. Flying from Key West to Ted Stephen in Alaska. That's a long way, man. Sounds like a fun flight, though. Enjoy it. In real life, does the airline give you charts for the airports? Yes. Yeah, you will not only get your normal charts, like all the airport charts, the procedures, the stars, the SIDS, the approaches. You are also going to get company charts, so company-specific charts, whether it be company-specific procedures or your gate information, your stands, all that stuff. That is all going to be in company charts. All right, so our APU is online. We've got the timer going. We've done our departure brief. We're going to put terrain on ND on for coming out of here. 370 is set. Our NIT B is almost ready to go. We do have an alternate. I forgot to put that in there. What is our alternate? SPHY. Oh, it is. It is in there. Good. All right, never mind. And NIT B, alternate fuel. That's fine. 2.2 min destination fuel. How about we do that? And we'll see what we got. Did I hear Speedbird flying Peru domestic flights? Gotta love that, Sim. Yeah, man. Have you ever seen Flying with Big Earn? I sure have, RC. I sure have, man. I saw that he is also upgrading to captain, which is pretty cool. I believe he's been there for, I don't know, 10 years or so. That's a long time. It's good to see him upgrading to captain. Awesome stuff. All right, so I should probably call these guys for clearance, right? Land 357, and what is our flight plan so I can have it on the ready? And I'll type it in chat. Lima Center, land Peru 357. Looking to pick up IFR clearance to Cusco.
Chile 357, good afternoon. Listen to me, please.
Okay, we'll stand by. Land 357. Seem very quiet. I'm going to boost my volume there. Alright, so we're standing by for clearance. That's good. Why are they so quiet? Let me go ahead and turn on my APU bleed. Get some air going in here. Let's see the air. Listen to the air coming in. Try my settings. Audio.
Repita última transmisión, por favor, para el 2474.
Posición y mantener pista 16.
Vamos, posición, mantenemos pista 16, no, pero 2474.
I think I'm land Peru, right? Is that my call sign? Alright, that's good. Let's go ahead and disconnect the external power. Let's go over to the ground services. At this point, probably cleaning up. The cargo is probably done. They're done with the chocks. GPU is now going to get pooled. So basically, okay, I fixed the volume. Now we're just waiting for the boarding to finish and our clearance. Flew into Lima on VATSIM and heard people speaking Spanish. I got legit nervous. Jeff, it's exactly how it is in real life, man. You'll hear the controller talking in their native languages, and then you'll hear your call sign in the middle of a conversation, and you're just like, what? What are they talking about me? Same is true. I mean, basically, Mexico South, man, same thing. Whoa. That guy needs to change his mic volume. Matt Warren says, I told you last week I was going to the aquarium in Scottsdale. After we finished that, I talked the wife into a little plane spotting at Phoenix. Super cool. Matt Warren, that's awesome, dude. I've done my fair share of plane spotting at Phoenix, dude, from the roof.
On Peru 298, stand 12, request push and start.
What? You didn't even get your clearance.
298, push and start is approved. Call me when you're ready.
Push and start approved, and we'll call you ready for taxi. Land Peru 2908.
So that's...
265, Lima, you're ready to copy clearance.
LP is land Peru, I believe. Oh, okay, so I just did LAN. Christy told me wrong. I just did LAN. So am I just LAN, or am I just, would that just be Latam? I filed LAN.
Clear Cusco by Takeoff 3 departure, flight level 350, Alpha runway 166, clock 1.
I love seeing those IAE engines over there. I cannot wait until we get our IAE engines.
Loco.
Land is land Chile. Alright. Land Chile?
Land Chile 357, Lima, you're ready to copy clearance.
That's from land Chile 357.
Land Chile 357, clear by Lima Control to request VOR via flight and route, runway 16, Paco 3 departure. Climb flight level 370 and squawk 1604.
Alright, we're land Chile 357 cleared to Cusco via flight plan route, runway 16, Paco 3 departure, 370, squawking 1604.
Report is correct, report ready for push and start.
Roger, we'll call you ready for push and start, land Chile 357. Alright, so our flight plan route 16 as brief, 1604 is the squawk code, so let's go ahead and set that, 1604. That is standing by. Are we done boarding? We are done boarding. Beautiful. We'll close that. Let's go ahead and get rid of the jet bridge. He's going away. We'll go ahead and connect the tug. Let's go ahead and get a beacon light on. Things are looking up. Let's do a B4 start. Ooh, you know what? Stand by. Stand by. Sync final. Sync live. Calculate. And what is our final numbers here? We have 115.9 and 26.6.
November 305 Alfa Kilo, buen día, Lima 5, prosiga.
Buen día, caballero. Plan de vuelo presentado.
41 minutes extra gas.
53, entrando datos y puesto en marcha.
And we need,
Vientos de Lima,
for our
vientos,
V speeds, for a Toga takeoff, 21, 27, 30, flap 3.
PNH 1017. Pistón uso la 16, tengo su autorización, confirme listo.
1017, pistón 16, lista la
Flap
copia.
3 departure out of here. Interesting. 121, 27, 30. So flap 3 and up 0.6. A lot of you are probably wondering, why are we doing flap 3? It's a great question. Probably has to do with the fact that we're taking off over the water. So we don't have an obstacle at the end of the runway, so we don't have to worry about a second segment climb or any of the performance in second segment, but we do have to get up to higher altitudes for the restraints on the departure. So that would be my initial assumption on why we're getting a flap 3 optimum here. Flaps 3 is not optimum when you have high terrain that you need to clear in front of the airplane, because if you lose an engine, it's not good. It is the worst scenario that you can be in. Holy crap, this is loud. But because we're going out over the water, you don't have to worry about that, because single engine performance over the water is the best you can get. It's over the water. All right. Let's go ahead and do our checklist now. Before start checklist, windows, doors, and slides are closed and armed. Beacon is on. Spam call just on cue. Beacon is on. Thrust levers are idle. Parking brake is on. And let's do this. On, and let's give him a call. Labor control and Chile 357 ready for push and start.
Land Chile 357, Riot that is approved, call me when you're ready to taxi.
Push and start approved, we'll call you ready for taxi, land Chile 357. Alright, push and start is approved. Tiller cam is coming on. Throttletek cam is here. Ground services are coming up. Tug is connected, cockpit to ground. Ground to cockpit, go ahead. Walk around's complete, chocks, blah, blah, blah. Clear to release brakes. Brakes are released. And you're clear to push straight back. Commencing pushback. Here we go. Flap 3 for short runway would be realistic as well. Yes, depending upon other factors. You know, it's just, it's hard to... God, that guy needs to change his mic. It's hard to just say, oh, short runway, we're doing flaps 3, or there's terrain, we're doing flaps 1. There are all these factors come into play together, right? So you have to consider terrain, you have to consider runway length, you have to consider environmental conditions, you have to consider runway conditions. All of these factors come into play. It's not just one or the other. So that's kind of where you get that variation. I said straight back. Yeah, we're just going to push straight back to spot 15 here. This is a PAX on takeoff, Max Parks. This is PAX on. Notorious, yeah. I was going to go for the full-blown communication, but you guys get the picture. I think you're facing the wrong way there, buddy.
Runway 16, and we'll report ready to depart. Land Peru 290.
We'll go ahead and stop the push. Ground and cockpit push is complete. Clear to set brakes. Brakes are set. Clear to disconnect. Show me the pin out front. Thanks for the push. We'll talk to you next time. Adios. Oh, and you're clear to start, by the way. Let's go ahead and spin them up, shall we? Somebody was saying they want to watch the startup from here, so let's go ahead and do it. Starting 1. You want to watch the instruments. N2 is on the rise. Liam, 27 months, man. Thank you for your continued support. Loving the Throttletek, but can you talk loudly if something major happens as I'm watching Wimbledon? Liam, thanks for your continued support, my friend. Indeed, I will. If something important happens, I will let you know, my friend. So whoever wanted to watch instruments on startup, here you go. One of the most lackluster startups we've ever done on the channel, but trying to make everybody happy. I will say this, I did a test flight in the fly-by-wire today, and it was amazing. The sounds were absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get back in that airplane just for the sound set alone. Yeah, I'm in Lima. The Wojtek, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. I appreciate that. But for some reason, Fly Live's database, it only has SPIM for Lima, so that's why it's showing that. All right, we've got an avail on number 1. Whoever wanted to see that, I hope you're happy. Let's go ahead and start engine 2. Nice PTU sound. Rock City Strong. Big up, sir. Welcome to the channel, man. Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you on board. Welcome. No, we're not going to start engine 2 from the outside because there's no volume sliders, and my ears are already ringing. Is the Throttletek plug and play out of the box? Yes, it is, Max Parks. Plug and play. It does not come with the cable. Now, the cable is just a USB printer style, so it's got that box like one end is flat like you're used to for the USB. The other end has kind of got that square adapter. It's for a printer cable. I don't know the reason behind that. Maybe it's a little bit, you can run a little bit more volt through it. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's all it is. You plug that in, good to go. Sounds like we got a good start on number 2. Wait for that avail light. Can fly-by-wire do RNAV? It has in the past, yes. We'll go ahead and arm the speed brakes, and we're doing a flap 3. Let's watch this one from here. This ought to be good. 1, 2, and 3. Time to vamos. Vamos. PTU stands for Power Transfer Unit. Love that sound. It's only on the Airbus, right? Other aircraft have PTUs as well, but they operate slightly differently. But yes, that noise or sound that you're used to hearing is pretty common on the 320 family. Yes, the PTU, Power Transfer Unit. All right, let's see what the received messages are here. This is just the final load sheet. We'll accept that. Also, while I'm here, I want to make sure, because it doesn't save in Fenix, what we need to do is make sure our failures are set to a random as well. All failures, realistic, stored, done. All right, that is done, that is done. Perf page here, overhead, APU bleed, APU can come off. And I think we're about ready to go. We're down 0.6 on the trim, which is kind of interesting. That seems kind of high. But down 0.6, and let's look at our taxi chart. God, dude. Seriously? Like, seriously? Nobody's going to tell that guy about his mic? Alright, ground charts, where were we at? 10-9. Probably Alpha 1 to holding point for 1-6.
Alfa 1 Alfa, punto de espera, pista 16, 2 en secuencia, 305 hasta kilo.
Lima Center, land Chile 357, ready for taxi off stand 15.
Land Chile 357, taxi to holding point, runway 16 via Alpha, report ready to depart.
Alright, taxi holding point 16 via Alpha for land Chile 357. Alright. Taxi light is on, brakes released. Dude, sounds like he's broadcasting from Saturn. My word. I don't know where it sounds like. It's just obnoxious. Here we go. Watch yours. And another spam call on cue.
On Peru 298, we're holding short of 16, ready for departure.
My ears are just done. Brake check. Pressure 0. Alright, so Alpha to 16.
Land Peru 298.
Land Peru 298's already out of here. We're just going to sneak out here and get on Alpha. Not quite sure where. I think this is I think the center line's up here. In theory, how difficult is it to trim the 320 in direct law? Thinking of the Max 8 crashes where the pilot should have, could have cut off trim, leaving them manually using the trim wheel. Stefan, that's not quite how it works on the Max, my friend. The MCAS actually runs the trim wheel. So when the MCAS went off, it ran the trim almost full nose down. One of the crews, they did the proper procedure. They actually shut the trim off and inhibited the trim from running. However, the amount of pressure that it required to keep the aircraft level quickly overcame the pilots. They had no other options. He said, well, let me see if I can reactivate the trim and trim it back. Reactivated the trim, it continued to spin nose down, and that drove it into the ground. So, not quite how the trim works. But in the 320, direct law, using the man pitch trim, it's pretty simple. You just fly with a trim wheel. Anybody who's flown a light GA airplane or anything like that, it's the same concept. You just put the airplane where hopefully where you want it and trim it out and you're good to go. Lima Hay is just like real life. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been down here. I don't remember if it was hazy the last time I was here, but this looks pretty darn believable to me. Just watched a documentary on Netflix on the 7.3 Max. It was interesting. Yeah, I watched it too, and it just pissed me off, man. What that whole thing was just awful. Oh, there goes the land Chile, or land Peru. Nice. Love seeing that. AIG traffic for the win. So cool. Were you nervous for pilot school? No. No, not nervous for pilot school. Excited. Felipe says, I'm flying the route out ahead of you and the scenery is great. Excellent. I cannot wait to see it, man. I'm excited. I want to be a pilot, but everything you do in the cockpit is making me a bit nervous. Petrified, don't worry about it, man. By the time you get to the level that you need to be at to fly an airliner, you're not going to be nervous at all, my friend. You might be a little anxious, you know, in your first flight. I think that's normal. But you're going to have so much training by the time you get through everything, you're just going to be ready to go. You're going to be looking forward to getting in an airplane. Look at you taxiing like a real pilot. Hey, I'm trying to, man. RC, exactly. How Boeing handled it, exactly. Yeah, the whole corruption thing, man. Just I'm getting tired of these corrupt people just getting away with everything, man. But don't get me started. It's too early to start ranting. Have I managed to get rudder authority? Nope. Mustafa, no. I have a 12-knot crosswind limitation on the Fenix 320. That is my personal crosswind limitation on the Fenix 320, or else it's not really plausible to maintain directional control on rollout, unless you just don't touch the rudder and you land side-loaded. In that case, you'll be fine, but it can get squirrely once you get to those crosswinds above 10 to 12 knots. And I mean legit, like 12 knots of crosswind component.
298, we're passing 5,200.
Peru 298, radar contact. Continue flying to flight level 270 and fly direct backward.
Climb 270 direct buckle. Land Peru 298.
Come on, Christy. I'll turn that down a little bit more. There we go. What do we got here? A little citation jet in front of us? That's cool. Are you training now? How old are you, if you don't mind me answering? Nah. No, I'm not in training now. I'm an airline captain right now. So I will be going back to recurrent training next month. So you'll be seeing, you guys will be seeing the back to work check ride prep streams coming very soon, probably after the 4th. So into July, we're going to have to take a small break from our South America tour. I might make it a members only stream, but at least a members only chat anyway, just to kind of keep distractions down. But what I do, if you haven't been around the channel for that, when I do a check ride prep stream, I'm not very interactive with chat, but what I do is I run through actual check ride profiles. So I'm very busy up front. I'm of course doing it all single pilot, which in the check ride it'll be completely different. You know, it's a full crew up there. But I'll do a V1 cut, we'll do an aborted takeoff, we'll do 3 different approaches, we'll do some maneuvers and steep turns. And that's basically, we take off and land at the same airport. So that's what a check ride prep stream is. That'll be coming at you here very soon. Alright, so fun fact. I wish I could go outside in this airplane, but I just can't. So this isn't quite the XLS, but I discovered this one time in Philadelphia. So the Airbus, if I turn down the sounds here, go back outside. We get our air conditioning from the packs, right? The pack inlets are right here on the fuselage fairing. I have discovered that if you taxi up behind a Citation XLS corporate jet, which just looks like this is not an XLS, but the position of the engines on the Citation XLS shoot the exhaust directly into the pack intake, and you will just be sitting there smelling jet fuel like none other. So make sure you give yourself plenty of room when you taxi up behind a Citation jet. After that, I give myself extra room anytime I get up behind any twin tail corporate jet, just because it seems like the way their engines are mounted, it just shoots right into the cabin. All right, we're going to hold short of 1.6. I'm going to run through my checks here, and then we are going to get out of here. Which plane am I going to fly for my check ride prep? Anthony, that's a great question. I would like to try the Fenix on at least one of them. We will probably be in the Tolus at some point, but we'll just have to see, my friend. We'll have to see. I'm thinking I would like to do it in the Fenix, but we might do some Tolus as well. I'm going to have to see which one has the most up-to-date ECAM. All right, real quick, let's do our flight control check. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral. Auto brakes max. Takeoff config is checked. Radar PWS is on. TARA. Boom. Everybody is red. Flight attendants prepare for takeoff. Are you guys ready? I'm ready. 370 is our climbing altitude. We're going to go pack hole 3 departure. Terrain mode is on. I think it's about time. Lima control. Land Chile 357. Ready for departure. Runway 16.
Land Chile 357. Line up and wait. Runway 16.
Line up and wait, runway 16, land Chile 357. Line up and wait. So that comes on, and we'll wait on that. I'm just going to extend my landing lights. We're not going to actually turn them on. Line up and wait. Here we go. Is the cabin door open? I don't believe so. No, it's just, I'm going to have to turn that off from FS Realistic. Sorry. Yeah.
Peru 298. Now proceed direct darky.
Direct darky, land Peru 298.
November 305 Alfa Kilo, en contacto radar, ascenso nivel 2, 70 y restricto, izquierda directo Pacuel.
330 watching. We got 100 and something likes. What are we sitting at here? We're sitting at 111 likes. Let's go ahead and bump those likes up for takeoff. Smash down that thumbs up button because we are going to do a full Toga takeoff. Packs on, however, packs on. So it won't be the maximum rip that we'd like to get here, but still give me a thumbs up for this takeoff. It's going to be absolutely juicy. Into the haze, 1.6. Matter of fact, don't even give me a like for the takeoff. Give me a like for that lineup, because I may not be good at that 90 turn, but I can sure come on at a 45. Just in time for yoga. Exactly, James Monks. Let me go ahead and boost up the volume a little bit. Here we go. Waiting for our clearance from tower. I smashed the thumbs up button so hard my screen is now cracked. Well, thank you. And I'm sorry that happened. Real fake pilot emojis in chat. Thank you, Christy. Yeah, the twoest new emojis we have are the real fake pilot and the Sia as well, courtesy of Mr. Fubar. Thank you, sir. I'm ready to yoga, but he's holding me. I think we're holding for spacing. I unliked and liked just for the lineup. All right, my calves are going to start cramping here.
Peru 298, continue climb to flight level 370.
Continue climb 370, land Peru 298.
Not quite sure why there's British Airways here still, but here's what it is. No max rip, but we'll be comfortable. Exactly, Key 6. feel the burn.
Peru 21-2.
What?
When you're ready to descend, flight level 230.
Dude, my calves are serious. I don't want to set the brake. There's nothing saying you can't set the brake, but it's not really the best technique. But my calves are starting to... Maybe I should take the pressure off some of these brake pedals. Cabin crew, seats for departure. Yes, indeed, Vladimir. He may have... I don't think he forgot about me.
Peru 304 en tierra, minuto 50. Continúe.
Don't see anybody on the TCAS. As long as I don't see anybody on final behind us, we're okay. We got 6,000 set. It's leg day, Rusty, exactly. I think he's spacing us out for our arrivals.
Land Chile 357, wind 180 degrees, 11 knots, runway 16, clear for takeoff.
Runway 16, clear for takeoff, land Chile 357. All right, guys, you heard the man. Nose forward on the stick, spool him up 50. Thank you for the yogas. Here we go. Enjoy the takeoff. Yoga. Man, Toga, SRS runway auto thrust is blue. Thrust set. 100 knots. Check. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Hero.
Peru.
Navin. Fly with. I can't do that anymore until Phoenix gives us some volume sliders. Alright, nose it over, wait for that positive trend in airspeed. Here it comes. Thrust, climb, nav. Flaps 1, speed checks. Flaps 1. There's S-speed, flaps 0 after takeoff checklist. Speed checks, flaps 0. Look at the stadium down there. Oh, that was cool.
Recibido, al parecer la antena no llega. Vía Charlie Alfa 1, cruce de pista aprobado, puesto 2.
Pitching for 250, right about 10 degrees on the... We got a 6,000 foot restriction. Wow, look at that. That's beautiful down there. Adios, Lima. That looks so good. Speed Alt Star. Turn down the sim a little bit. Let me go ahead and brighten it up as well. Alright, let's go ahead and not beat our restriction here. Let's go ahead and lower the nose. Try not to float everybody in the back. I was a little bit late on that. There we go, we caught it. Speed Out Star. We're leveling at 6,000 for the constraint. I'm going to go autopilot 1 so we can enjoy the views here. Oh, wow, look at that. Where does it tell you positive climb? It will tell you, there's a couple different ways you can identify a positive trend in air, or a positive climb. You could look at your vertical speed indicator. Obviously, you can see the altimeter is increasing. And
Chile 357, radar contact, continue climb to flight level 270.
Continue climb flight level 270 for land Chile 357. So I'm not sure if he wants us to continue to climb via, so we're just going to let it to climb via. He didn't give me a climb and maintain, he just said continue climb. So we're going to continue to climb via. Look at that. What airport is that? God, that looks so good. Now the right-hand side is obviously just water. Oh, wow. Look at these views, though. If you were to leave it on autopilot, would it land on its own? No. You have to set it up to land on its own. But it is very possible to set it up so it lands on its own. But if I just left the autopilot on right now, no. Alright, here's our next constraint, 9,000 for JC930. We got an out start. As soon as we get past this one, we will continue our climb to, I believe, above 10,000. Let's listen to the spool up again here. Wow, look at these views. I'm glad I got the autopilot on. Oh, that was awesome. I cannot wait for IAE engines. That will just be the icing on the cake on this airplane. Left window seat is at where is where it's at for this flight? Exactly, Jeff. That's where your video was at too, huh?
Chile 357, proceed direct, Paco.
Proceed direct to Taco for land Chile 357. Alright, direct to Paco. That looks good. Insert. So now that we got an insert, we'll go ahead and pull for standard as well. STDs for you, me, and the jump seater, 1, 2, and 3. So we've got a climb, or we've got a direct to Paco, which is at or above 210. So at this point, we can just do an open climb here. You could leave it in managed climb, but I'm gonna just pull for open. We've got thrust climb, open climb. We're out of 10,000 feet. We'll go ahead and get the landing lights off, get the turn-off lights and the taxi light off as well. Let the flight attendants know we're out of the sterile cockpit. And come down here to our secondary. We'll copy the active flight plan. We didn't have anything on the rad nav, so there's nothing to clear out. And we are beginning the official climb cruise portion of the departure now. And look at that view. Oh my, this sim never ceases to amaze me. I'm telling you, there's something that just, I keep coming back for more on the sim. Cannot get enough of it. Florida Wings, I am not sure. I am not sure when they're coming out, my friend. I am not sure. Oh, La Palmas was the airport. I got it. Thank you, Gib. I thought you said direct to Taco, Jamlin. No, it's a Paco. Yeah, the only reason I knew what he was talking about is because I looked at the departure procedure and I saw that fix on there, but I would have been with you, man. That's a very good tip that I want to give you guys when you start flying, because this is a real world thing that I do as well when I'm flying in South America or when I'm flying in Mexico, basically any other country where the accents can be quite strong. The best thing that you can do is really review all of the individual waypoint names, at least, on your departure procedure, because while you may not have to actually say what they are, when you get a clearance from ground control or from clearance delivery, or you get a direct to like we just got from Lima Control, if you're unsure of what he's saying, if you've already read all of the waypoints out loud or to yourself anyway on the departure during your briefing, you will have a higher likelihood of knowing what he's talking about, and it will make more sense to you. So that's a tip that I want to give you. Something that I do in real life too is you just make sure you look over how all the words are spelled on that departure, because it's very possible you're going to get a direct to at some point, and if you don't know what to look for, you may not know what he or she said as a controller. The taco sounds good right about now. Continue climb flight level 370, land Chile 357. So we are continuing climb to 370. We got 370 blue with thrust climb, open climb. And we're going to enjoy these views here, because here we go into the mountains.
Chile 357, proceed direct, Daki.
Proceed direct to Daki, land Chile 357. Alright, so Daki, I know where that is, because I remember that on my flight plan. Direct to Darky is going to cut the corner. We'll go ahead and insert that. We're navving. Wow. Wow. Niner is correct phraseology. That is correct. What is the rule on saying Niner when you're given a call sign? I've heard HC. It really is Niner. Iron Man. If you're being proper, Niner is the phonetic. Is it phonetic? No, not phonetic. There's a word for it. That is the proper numerical name for Niner. And 3 is tree, and 5 is fife. Those are the correct terms. Now, you're going to hear, I do it. Everybody gets a little lazy. Sometimes we say 3 or 5 or 9. But Yes, the 100% correct way is Niner, Fife, and Tree. Tree, Fife, Niner. Great views, V1. Best thing on TV tonight. PV, thank you, man. Appreciate you. PDES, surely you should be flying Alpaca in Peru. I know, PDES. I should have flown. You know what, Pete? Oh, I feel like I totally dropped the ball on that. We should have done an Alpaca flight. And just like, I feel like that's trademark, or like that would be frowned upon. I'd have to get prior clearance from Mr. Flight Deck to sim himself, but that would have been a great idea because they have an Alpaca livery for this on the Flight Sim TO. You know, since we did leave the alpacas. That's funny. That is a great point. Look at that mountain, though. So about tree fitty. Exactly, Jeff. Exactly. All right, so we can go ahead and turn off terrain mode for now. We could see the traffic in front of us. We're 21, climbing 370. Let's verify that we are climbing. Yes, pressure is, our cabin is pressurizing. Landing elevation is 10,800 feet. Goodness. And high altitude landing. We're going to have to turn that on, I believe. I almost took my Alpaca 737, but it wouldn't be right. That's kind of a cool shot there with the... that's pretty cool. Jamlin says, I designed the Alpaca Airways for Flight Deck to sim, so I'd give you permission. Thank you, Jamlin. Yeah, I should have done that. Maybe, I think we're going to fly the fly-by-wire next, but yeah. If I ever get around, and I really, really hope this happens, if I ever get the opportunity to do a multi-crew stream with Mr. Flight Deck himself, I would, we're going to have to do it in the Alpaca livery, because I want to fly around in the Alpaca livery with the man himself, Mr. Flight Deck to sim. All right, we're starting to get a little bit of rock here. This is probably due to some of the terrain and the wind coming over the terrain. Get a little burble effect. Get a little. There's a term for it. There's a term for terrain and wind causing turbulence, and I'm drawing a blank. I apologize. It's not orographical lifting. That has to do with convective activity, but. You know, imagine a stream, right, or a brook of water, and excuse me, and you throw stones in it. That the water running over it creates a burble, creates turbulence. Same thing happens here, and when you start flying in high elevation, around high elevation, or around high terrain, I should say. Mountain waves. I like the wingtip flex with the air disturbance. Yes, SM. The wingtip flex on the Fenix is the best flex on wings I've seen in a sim. I think Fenix has absolutely nailed it. Mountain waves is kind of what I was going for. Thank you, Anthony. Burble comes from a carrier. That's when you're coming in across the fantail of the ship and you get the burble effect. Lenticular wind, leeward, wayward side. Yeah, you're getting them all, Mozzie. I think a shared cockpit with XP72 when you both reach 30k subs is in order. Mr. Martini, I'd love it, man. I would love to do it. Mechanical turbulence, yep. Oh, Romulus had it first. All right, we're going to enjoy this view here a little bit later on, but let's go ahead and continue to look at our arrival because I kind of want to get the charts already out. Wow, just look at this. Could you imagine flying over? This is some amazing terrain. I'm going to just get the charts out so I feel like we're ahead of the game. Arrival, we're not doing the arrival, we're just doing the approach, right? So the approach, RNAV 28. The Charlie VOR DME. Oh, that's the visual you were talking about, I believe. Oh, no, that's an actual VOR with the circle. Let's come in the other way. Interesting. I'd have to see the circling chart. Wow, look at that. Pappy, 3 degrees on both sides. Cusco, Peru. Man, I would love to fly in here. I'm going to just pull this chart out. We're going to get rid of this. I'm going to zoom it in. We're going direct to Darky, and then we're going to be doing this right here. RNAV, RNP all the way around. And all of our minimums are actually up on the top. RNP at 0.3. Alright, so we've got that set up at least. I mean, we gotta look at this. This is by far the most stunning and memorable real-life flight I've ever been on. I believe it, Jeff. I believe it. It's funny to see all the names recognized from flight deck to sim. Yeah, he's... Pete S. hijacked the stream. Nah, you guys are absolutely welcome here. We all watch. I mean, I watch flight deck to sim. We've got a lot of the same viewers, so I appreciate you guys showing this Airbus pilot some love. And I feel a little bit bad for you diehard Boeing fans because the last couple videos Mr. Flight Deck has put out himself, he has seemed to be pretty much in love with the Airbus. So yeah, he's coming around. He's coming around. He's going to start speaking French here pretty soon. Parlez-vous français? How are you cycling the views? Did you set a shortcut or is it the default shortcuts? Ozzy, I set it up. Exclamation point wing view. There is a video from Mr. XP72 who explains how to set wing views for any aircraft in Microsoft Flight Sim. Now, the Fenix makes it very easy. All you have to do is move into the cabin. You don't have to edit any files to get out of the cabin lock. What I mean by that is some aircraft, they kind of lock you in here, so you can't really move around. But in the Fenix, you can move right through the cockpit door and into the cabin. So Fenix is very easy. You just have to set up a couple of keybinds, and you're going to be good to go. So check out exclamation point wing view, and he'll help. That video will definitely help you get set up properly. All right, I'm going to put us into cruise mode here. Our classic cruise mode. Look at that. See how you can see through how the sunshades actually work? This is... Man, I just love this sim. It does so many little things right. It makes it really incredible. I know you guys, I always just like sitting on the wing view, but I know a lot of you love to, you're like, I need more cockpit view. So here you go, enjoy the cockpit view. And if you want, I can even give you a little extra juice. You could stare at some thrust levers there. Man, I love these thrust levers. I really need to get a new desk. I've got one ordered. So my problem that I have is when I put my hand down, I have to kind of like stick my arm between my armrest and the top of the desk. It makes it kind of hard for me to reach my thrust levers right now, but as soon as I get my new desk, I'll have a much better mounting solution.
Peru 212, wind
Dougal says, I guess La Paz, Bolivia is even more crazy at over 13,000 feet. Dougal, La Paz, Bolivia. What's the identifier, Dougal? Let me know what the identifier is. I'm gonna look it up. Mitar Taco, Anthony. I'm surprised PMDG doesn't have the interior set straight from the cockpit. Even Zebo does it. Hell, you could open the cockpit door and walk between Zebo. I know. I don't know why. I think that had plagued PMDG even in FSX. I remember having a hard time setting wing views in FSX. Have you seen any ATP with any visible tattoos? You're talking about, so have I seen any airline transport pilots with tattoos? Yeah, I have. A matter of fact, my my good friend has got a sleeve. It just depends, it depends. If you have tattoos, you wear long sleeves. Some, and you're supposed to, sometimes they don't. But for the most part, at least in the States here, you're not really supposed to have any visible tattoos. I'm not sure what the requirements are abroad in different countries. But for the most part in the States, if you have tattoos, they're covered up.
265 now.
MMLP. MMLP. Callie Simmer says, how many years, hours does it take for an FO to become a captain? Callie Simmer, that will depend entirely upon the airline that you are working for. So, and the time frame. So, I did the thing again. Hold on. So that will depend entirely on the airline that you're working for, and it'll vary, you know, between airline to airline. It could take as little as 2 years. It could take as long as 10, 15 years, and it depends on what equipment you're upgrading to. So it can vary greatly. There is no set limit. All right, mock alt star. We're leveling at flight level 370. Too steep path ahead. I know now all my views are kind of jacked up here, so we're going to go ahead and put this into all mode. I think it's going to be relatively smooth, so let's turn the seatbelt sign off while we have a chance here. And yeah, look at that. That's just cool being able to look out the window to see that. SLLP. SLLP. All right, dude, well, let me look at it here on the Sky Vector. Let me see something. 13, that's insane. SLLP. That's La Paz. Hey, you know what, Dougal? That's only 281 miles away from Cusco. We might have to go ahead and pay that airport a visit. You know what we might have to do, Dougal? I think you might have hit it. I think we're going to, on the next flight, we're going to have to do a turn. We're going to have to go from Cusco to La Paz and then back. Might have to do a turn. We'll have to see. I am going to check that one out, Dougal. Indeed. Thank you for that, man. That would be a new record. I cannot believe that field elevation. That's insane. We'll 100% have to check it out. Thank you. You did a Simwings flight into there. Very cool. Very cool. V1, I did a college visit the other day for my son for commercial aviation. Do you recommend college or something like an ATP school? Anthony, that's a great question. Hold on, I gotta turn down the pilot again. That's a great question, and the answer is dynamic. It kind of depends on a couple different things. You know, a lot of the airlines are dropping their college requirements right now. So there are programs out there like United Aviate, which it's a flight school. You get into that, you're basically guaranteed a job at United, and it's a streamlined career path. The way things are headed right now, the more streamlined path you can get on, the better. So I would, and I wouldn't say that, you know, you don't do school at the same time, but I think if you can get on a streamlined path to an airline through a flight school, that would be ideal, and at the same time maybe do some classes online or whatnot. It just, you could do it both ways, or you could send them to school, or you could do 4-year degree and then take up flying. But the thing is, the faster you get the seniority number, the better, and the faster you get your ratings, the better, especially in this environment. Timing is everything. So if it were me, I would really look into getting into one of those streamlined programs such as United Aviate. I think Delta's got one. Envoy has flow programs for American Eagle, depending on what flight school you go to. I would really look into that, honestly, if he was serious about being an airline pilot. Now, if he wanted to do something else, like maybe fly corporate or whatnot, then the ATP route is also good because you can knock it out real quick. It is a fire hose crash course. There will be no time for college studies on the side of an ATP course. It is a lot of information and it's very fast, but he or she is going to get their ratings much quicker that way. So it's a dynamic question. That's kind of my opinion on it. Definitely ask around and go from there. But SCCF, what's SCCF? If you can afford it, Embry-Riddle is a great option, although I might be biased. Jeff L., I wonder if you went to Embry-Riddle. Imagine SLLP and X-Plane 11 with the 727 gals. If we had I know, a lot of these routes, I really wish we had the 727 to fly. I was thinking, what if X-Plane 12 drops and then we can do it and we can fly it on X-Plane 12 would be absolutely incredible. Man, I would love it. I might have to fire it up just for old time's sake to see. I feel like my views are all sorts of jacked up now. What is going on here? You went to Embry-Riddle in Daytona? Excellent. I'm studying aeronautical sciences in Lima, Peru, and I'm looking forward to finish it in about 3 years, and at the same time get my PPL afterwards. I'd like to go to the States or Canada to continue. Awesome, Juan. I would recommend the United States over Canada, if I had being completely honest with you. Canada is it's a little bit more difficult, and you don't have as many programs to support you financially through that. So I would recommend trying to do some United States route. SCCF is Calama in Chile, also high altitude airport. Very interesting. Well, we might just have to do some high altitude airport hopping. We might just have to keep going down these mountains here. I'm a PSA senior cadet. Just about to schedule my CFI check ride here as well. Very cool. Highly suggested. Almost a straight shot to American Eagle FO spot. And with their new contract, you guys are going to be making some nice money on the side. So, yep, PSA. Also a very viable option. Timing is everything. Was waiting for my 320 check ride with Northwest when 9/11 happened. Phew, Tango Kilo. Yeah, timing is everything in this career. Everything. And you had a 1,000 foot, you had a 10,000 foot RA. Do you use any ground realistic mods? I was thinking of buying them. No, you don't need them. Leave your sim the same. Don't mess with the Google Map mod. Don't mess with any of that. You don't need them, man. You really don't. What you're looking out the window is absolutely incredible right now, and this is all default. This is default. So, you know, Orbix. Other than Orbix, I really do enjoy the Orbix stuff. But as far as, here's my thinking behind it. You know, you start putting all these mods on your sim, and the way that Microsoft is updating the sim, at some point something is going to break. It's inevitable. And then when it breaks, your sim's going to be unstable. You're not going to know why, and there's just going to be problems. So it'd be my opinion to just leave it as default as possible. My thoughts on FS Realistic. I don't think it's worth the price. I'm running it right now. I have a profile that I just updated for the Fenix, so if you do have FS Realistic, just search for my name and download the profile if you want a realistic profile. But I think it's great for GA flying. I think it's overpriced. For everything else, though, I think it's probably worth about 10 to 15 bucks. I don't really think it's worth $30 add-on. But, I mean, I have it. I don't dislike it. The latest update is good. It fixed that zoom bug. So, you know, it's not my favorite thing in the world. All right, we have
2908, request descent.
Destination data time.
Descend and maintain flight level 230, land Peru 2908.
All right, let's go ahead and start preparing. Weather. SP, where are we going? SPZO. SPZO. I did something now. My views are all messed up. I hate that. We have an ACARS. Enjoying the Phoenix. Wants to know if the Book of Mormon is true. There you go. Very cool. Someone sent me a data link. 090 at 5. So let's go ahead and dial this in. No significant. Temperature 19. QNH is 1030, which is going to be $30.39. Jeez. I know. 3039, that is seriously high pressure. Ah, my stupid views are all jacked up now. The breathing situation or simulation in FS Realistic is the most unrealistic thing. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are unrealistic about it. That's why I made a profile to kind of make it a little bit more realistic. I kind of want to change the audio of the cabin now too. That's not what I wanted. How long are you flying at one time? Dave, it will depend on the trip, man. It depends on the trip that you bid for. Anywhere from a day to 4 days. All right, RNP, the DA is 11.8. See, why is it all zoomed in? That's so weird. 11,800 in the Barrow is set. That's crazy. All right, let's look at our... Wow, let's just take a minute and enjoy that view before I... Are you kidding me? Let's look at a GoPro view here. What? Can we just get a moment of silence for X-Plane 11, please? Do you guys see what I'm seeing out the window right now? Need I remind you, this is default. Wow. Andres MT, my profile is on the profile cloud for the Airbus. Yeah, so when you have FS Realistic on, just go to Profile Cloud and search for my name, V1 Sim. I have the Fenix profile on there. I would suggest maybe turning the cabin sounds down a little bit more. You could, of course, obviously, you can tweak my profile. It could just be a starting point for you. But basically what I've done is I've tried to kind of really make it more realistic by minimizing some of the movements. Airbus's 737s, these airplanes, these commercial jets, they don't really move all that much other than when you're in turbulence. And even then, your body is moving with the airplane, right? Everything is in 1G for the most part, and they tell you get in turbulence and you feel the same Gs that the airplane feels. So it's not like the airplane dash is shaking in front of you. It's you move with the airplane. So the movement that you get from FS Realistic from an airliner standpoint is not all that realistic. However, there are some benefits such as like being able to set some other additional sounds like brakes or wheels in the wheel well, touchdown effects, things like that. It's cool to have. That's why I don't really, I guess I wouldn't recommend it if you're just an airliner guy. But if you fly some GA stuff, it really transforms the GA flying. I will say that. If you do any GA flying at all, then I highly recommend FS Realistic because it definitely changes the game as far as realism and movement, because those airplanes do indeed move. So let's go ahead and get back to our briefing here for our approach. So I'm going to go into plan mode, zoom this down to 10 miles, and we're going to kind of skip through this. So Darky at 2.5. We're going to come around here. We're not going to use the LS push buttons because we're going to be on the RNP RNAV, so that looks good. 225 on the speed all the way around. What is it predicting for speeds like at 0526? It doesn't have any speed constraints on there other than that other one we saw. Alright, 2.8 degrees down. 2.8 degrees path down.
Can we get the RMP approach for Land Peru 2908?
Now the arrival that you choose is Darky 1 Charlie. Darky 1 Charlie, the approach is VOR approach.
We have the RMP loaded up already. Can we do it?
Roger. Close to VOR, the Arnab approach runway 28, report on short final.
Clear the Arnab 28 report on short final.
Well, just listen. So he got he wanted him to do the VOR. VOR descent Charlie. Circling. The problem I have with this is there's got to be something additional to the chart. So I don't have the circle. So you come here, you hit the VOR, you're at 18,000 feet. Where do you circle? Like I don't have, this is where you would have a company chart. Unless I'm missing something. Circling prohibited for runway 10, circling not authorized north. So I'm assuming you come down here and you fly like this. But I don't have, like I would imagine that you would do something like that and land. Because I don't think at, let's see, if you descend, what's your minimum? 14,500? Maybe, but that's only 3 miles, 4,000 feet to lose in 3 miles? I don't know, man. I don't think we can do that. Controller complied, just asking for the RNP. Yeah, I'm going to want, oops, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to want to do the RNP because I just don't, without having additional information on that, I don't want to just start flying around terrain willy-nilly and not even having track IR on. So I too will request for, I don't know why I keep spinning that around. I too will request for the RNP 28. This seems a little bit more controlled. So coming around here, 225. Basically, for final and missed, see the 1220-A. So we've looked at the initial part of the approach. We need to look at the secondary part of the approach, or the final segment, which is the 1220-A chart right here. So the final from Z056. Yeah, this is coming in here. Restricted 4-3. Straight in landing, RNP 0.3. Final approach point is Z0556. 2.8 degree path down. Glide path angle, ground speed 594. Pappies on both sides. Alright, I like this one. Final and missed approach. If we have to go missed, pretty simple. We're just going to follow the RMP path out and hold over here at 210 at 0582. Missed approach, holding pattern entry, max 230 knots. Good to note. But I think that's a pretty good review. With the RNP, it should keep it pretty nice and simple. And we know the Fenix loves to do RF, so this is a... let's see, authorization, not authorized, blah, 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 blah. One engine in operative aircraft continue below the DA are committed to land. That's an interesting note. So if you lose an engine and you go below the DA, you are committed to landing. There's no going around. Deselect URC and ZCO VOR. Max 250 within SPZO TMA 6. Max 250, VGSI and RNAV glide path are not coincident. So basically when we break out, when we round the corner, our pappies are not going to align with our vertical profile, which we're going to have here. And I cannot figure out why my views are all jacked up, guys. Sorry about that. Driving me nuts. It's a fun landing for sure, Orion. It'd be my first attempt ever at it. So he gave the guy in front of us 230. I'm going to dial in 230 just to have it as well. We'll give him a call. Oh, looks like the controller's offline. All right, good. Let's go ahead and start down. Controller went offline. So we're going to be on our own. We'll switch over to Unicom. 122.8. We'll make our intentions on Unicom. We're starting down. Let's get, if we get a descend via, well, for right now, we can set the bottom. We'll set 13.4 for this segment of the approach. Oh my gosh, this is going to be incredible. All right, let's go ahead and set 13,400. We'll get all this done now so we can watch the views. We don't need our LS push buttons because we're going to be using LNAV, VNAV, looking for the brick and the stick. Let's do a quick landing calculation. And before I do that, let's take a look out the left window here, because that is a thing of beauty. Let me get flight recorder up. Already on final. Awesome. Thank you, Christy. Alright, flight recorder is preloaded. We're ready to go there. Dave Kenny, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. I gotta try to reset this one more time. Alright, we're coming down and let's do our landing distance assessment. Runway 28. We're dry. Refresh METAR. Apply METAR. We're landing on runway, 28, correct. Landing weight for the aircraft is...
Captain, I have just sent you a video of the visual approach on Dicord. Flight Sim General. At minute 3 o'clock the aircraft is over ZCO VOR.
No brakes. Diego, thank you for the $2 donament. I will take a look at that here in a minute. Maybe on the next approach in here we'll be able to do the visual. I will take a look at that. Right now, though, I am trying to make sure we don't miss this one up here. So 122.8. We need 7,900 feet. We're going to have 5 knots on the tail. Everything else looks good. That landing distance assessment is completed. But thank you again, Diego, for the $2 super chat. I will take a look at that, my friend. Bank angle check right back at you. I also close Discord when I'm streaming because I've had a conflicts? English. I've had conflicts between Discord running and streaming at the same time. So to prevent that, I don't like to pull up Discord in the middle of the flight. But I will check it out, my friend. Thank you indeed. I think we're going to have to do another approach in here. We'll probably fly to, what did we say? La Paz? And then back. We're going to have to do a turn. We might take the Neo out, and then we might take the Phoenix back in again. Or maybe we'll flip it around. We'll take the Phoenix out and Neo back in. Yeah, this runway has got some distance to it, Jeff. That has to be, man. It has to be. For this altitude, are you kidding me? It has to be loud. All right, we're going to go outside just for a minute because we haven't spent any time outside. That is beautiful. Are you kidding me? Rest in peace, X-Plane 11. This might be one of the most epic approaches I've done on stream. I don't know. I'm just looking at the terrain around here is unbelievable already. Maximum juice and Kool-Aids. Exactly, Fubar. This is, Jeff L's even getting the X-Plane 11 rip. This is wild. Diego, when you flew in here, were you visiting family, or I mean, I know it's none of my business, but what brought you to Cusco? Cusco? I'm just curious. This is an incredible part of the world. I cannot begin to imagine what it'd be like flying this approach. The taxiways at La Paz are sloped. Dougal, thanks, man. I'm gonna need you around for that stream, Dougal. You're the La Paz expert. Is there a scenery for it? Machu Picchu? I'm about to fire the Phoenix. Any discount codes? Nah, I don't have any, Miso, but $50, it's the best $50 you're about to ever spend. I promise you. I mean... Oh, you flew here to hike Machu Picchu? Nice. Oh, it was you that... Jeff, it was you. Sorry, it was you that flew here. You flew here to hike. Oh, okay. This is... I mean, this is... Oh, shoot. Not good. We forgot a step. We got it. High altitude alert. Come on, baby. That'll silence the warning. High altitude landing is set. So what is happening here is the cabin is depressurizing. And, well, I say depressurizing, but the cabin altitude is climbing. I missed that on my brief. So what's happening is we need to tell the airplane that, hey, we do not need to drop the oxygen mask. We are actually meaning to land at this altitude. So it's getting very close to its limit to where it would automatically deploy the oxygen mask. So that's what the purpose of that high altitude push button is. I forgot to push that. That should have been activated before we started our top of descent. Steven, exactly. At the very least here, we are, how we looking? Our cabin altitude is 10.2. I hope 10.3. It's got to go to 10.8. So at 10.8, what will be our delta P? Where's our 4.1? So we're climbing back up. We need to land at 10.8. So it's actually setting the cabin to land at that's my mistake. That's cool to see that modeled. I think we're safe though, because it's going to go to 10,800 feet. We're at 10,450. Not quite sure if it stays flashing in red. I'm not quite sure if that happens when you push that button. This is something that I'm unfamiliar with, so we'll just monitor it. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing. I always hate ignoring any lights or any alerts in the cockpit, but this is one that is it is okay. Real fake pilot, exactly. Yeah, it is cool. It's implemented indeed. Can you explain the relation between altitude and runway distance? Callie Simmer. So in short, as basic as I can put it here as quickly as I can, as you go up in altitude, the air becomes less dense. That's why it's harder to breathe. When you go up to 15,000 feet, you're huffing and puffing. You have less oxygen and less dense air. So what happens, the airplane still needs the same amount of air to keep lift, right? So as the density of the air decreases, the speed at which the airplane needs to fly through the air is then increased. So even though your indicated airspeeds may be the same or a little bit lower, your true airspeed, or the speed at which the airplane is actually moving through the air, is much higher, which means your ground speed is going to be higher. So when you land at a high altitude airport, your ground speed is higher, the air is less dense, you have less performance for slowing down, the engines are like the reverse thrust is less efficient, you have to slow the airplane down from a faster ground speed point of view, so your brakes are going to be working harder. So that high density altitude, which is kind of a weird term, it actually means that the air is really not dense, is that the airplane is going to perform much less for you. So that's kind of a real quick and dirty example. We could talk about that for a solid hour. They give you a good foundation on it, but that's about as quick as I can get it out right here. So we need to slow down. So let's go speed brakes out, spoid brakes out, tiller cam is coming on, spoid brakes are out. We need to be 225. Let's go ahead and start slowing down. And we can actually arm the approach as well. We're going to go ahead and arm the approach. We need more drag. I'm slowing down. We're 225 knots. And let's go ahead and...
Go traffic, runway 28 vacated on Delta.
Standard is still set, coming down, speed brake is out, traffic is clear. It's at or above 17,000, 225 knots for the turn. We're looking good, we're catching up to it. Thank you, Will, appreciate you, man. I'm not sure when I should start the recording. Maybe when we get up there, we'll start the recording. Oh my word, look at this. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and select speed. I'm going to select 210 knots for right now. We're going to activate and confirm the approach phase. We have speed, final lap. There is the brick. Final lap has been captured. I'm going to select 180 on the speed now. I'm going to need a little bit of spoid brake to help me slow down. Look at that VLS coming up to bite me. There's VFE next, minus 10. We can extend flaps 1. Start working with thin margins up here at this altitude. Callie Simmer, thank you for the $10 super chat, sir. He says, thank you so much for the explanation. Cool privilege of your liking on me. Callie Simmer, I'm going to take you up on that offer on my way home. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate your dono. Glad to answer your questions, man. All right, we'll go ahead and set the QNH of 1016, 1016, and 1016, which is 3000. 3000 is set. Wow, she's really going to struggle to slow down, isn't she? Speed brake is still out. We're on the arc. I'm going to look at the final chart here. Let's go ahead and start recording. Recording is on. Final approach fixed altitude is 12,700. I'm going to set 12.7 as a reference right now. You could theoretically set go around altitude. But look at this. I got the speed brakes out. We are struggling to slow down already. QNH is 1029. Are you sure, Christy? Because that's going to really mess me up. It's not what mine said. What did it? 10:30. Yeah, I guess you're right. All right. 10:30 is set. Thank you, Christy. We are VFE next, barely. Let's go ahead and see if we can get flaps 2 out. This will help with some drag here. We're real tight on the margins, but we got to do it. I hit B for the correct, and it said 10:10 or whatever. Christy, do me a favor, and I'm gonna go ahead and continue to slow up here all the way. What's your with that set, with 1029 set? What does your altimeter show? All right, VFE next -10. Let's go flaps 3. What a view! My goodness me. Zachary, thank you for the $5 super chat, sir. He says, thank you for the entertainment while I go through the extremely painful process of transferring my paper book. Oh, man, in the Log 10 Pro. I do not envy you for that, my friend. I do not envy you for that. Best of luck. Thank you for your super chat, sir. I appreciate you. VFE next, then we'll go flaps full. We're configuring a little bit. We're pretty early here. We got flaps full. The gear is still up. There's the runway. Let's go gear down. Arm the speed brakes. $11,000 on the ground. All right, that's about, well, that's a couple hundred feet off. Runway's in sight. I think I need a hand fly this. I think we need a hand fly. All right, recording is on. Everything is good to go. Fenix is doing a good job. Yeah, 10:30, no sig. Bird hazard, runway 10-28. All right, let's hand fly it, shall we? Go around altitude is 210. Oh, that's on me.
Terrain ahead.
2,500.
Let's go. FO's flight director off. My flight director off. Give me the bird. Autopilot's coming off. We never got our signs back on. Real fake pilot. Never got our lights on. Real fake pilot. High altitude is set, terrain is off, landing lights on. Landing check is chem crew advised, auto thrust speed, ECAM Emma, landing all green. The landing checklist is complete. Match and mash. Auto thrust is off. My thrust levers. 1,000 feet stable, clear to land. I'm going to kind of come away from the track here a little bit. I'm visual with the runway now, so we're going to go ahead and just do a visual landing here. We'll let the probably get away from the vertical deviation and lateral deviation. Starting to make out the pappies now, so I'm going to do my own dog leg here. I never set missed approach altitude. I meant to set 2100. Or flight level 210 is set. All right, I see the pappies. We're on the pappies. See the runway. Gear is down. Why is my auto flight auto thrust ECAM up there? That shouldn't be there.
$500.
A little bit of a headwind here. Oh yeah, the pappies do appear to be incorrect, Christy. You're absolutely right on that. is showing 4 red, so it's not true. They're holding the 3-degree path. We're looking real good. These add-on sceneries, they got to start working on these pappies, man. Our vertical deviation is pretty much bang on.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Ooh, that felt good. Spoilers. Reverse screen. Manual braking. That felt pretty buttery on my end. I don't know what it said on the thing, but at least on my end that felt good. 70 knots, out of reverse. Stow it. Nice long runway here. Wow. That was a stunning approach. 254? No way. No way was that a 254. Just like I didn't believe the minus 13 it gave me on the last one, I don't believe a 254 one bit. We'll go ahead and stop recording. Wow, a lot of traffic here. Where are we gonna go? Let's see, we'll go over here, this side. I'm gonna leave the lights on for replay. I'm gonna reconfigure just because it's fun to do it with the Throttletek. Christy, you got a minus 3? No way. So I know that one was smoother than the last one we did in Lima because my screen didn't shake nearly as much. So whatever the feet per minute that FS Realistic is reading seems to be a little bit more true, because the last time it gave me a minus 13 in the Lima, which did not look like a minus 13. We'll have to see a replay. Replay will be the determining factor. 254 sticks of butter. Oh man, that's awesome. All right, let's bring it into the gate here, gate 3. You guys want to see a proper shutdown? Because then we could always just do a state saving. I don't want to risk it. We'll do it on the next one. I don't know where the line, which one I should stop on. Let's do the first one. Great sounds. We just need volume sliders. Boop. Brakes are set. All right. Somebody landing on 2-8. Let's go see him. Let's go see him landing on 2-8. We got one aircraft on final, and we're gonna have a heck of a replay to watch. Slow it down a little bit now. There we go. We'll put it right on the 1,000 footers for him. Here he comes. I can see the nav lights. That is the FS Project side stick. It is indeed, Mr. Gerber. It is indeed, my friend. Thank you, Diego. Tiller cam is up. Yep, tiller cam is up. Enjoying the Throttleteks. Absolutely love them. I kind of want to do a shutdown just so I can move them and manipulate the masters again, but we'll do it on the next stream. I don't want to chance not having a proper replay on this one, just because this is one of the most epic approaches I've ever flown in the sim. All right, here he comes, man. No pressure. Let me go. Let me get that out of there so you don't see that. Here comes speed bed. Ooh, that was a 3-wire, man. Okay pass right on the markers. I think it was a little firm, if you ask me, but that was right smack dab on the markers. 10 for 10 on that landing. Textbook, absolutely textbook landing. Good deal. All right, let's go ahead and disconnect from VATSIM. Let me reconfigure. I'm gonna go flaps full. Lights are still on. I'm gonna go into replay mode over here. SPZO is the captain-only landing for LATAM Ops. Very cool. I would imagine so. I would imagine so. I'm going to pause the sail just yet. What I'm going to do is we're going to look at a couple replays together, and then I'm going to just wind it all the way back and let you guys watch it. Watch it with the sail. So here we go. Let's go ahead and go into replay mode. Replay is starting. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to move it forward a little bit. Come to right about here. We'll watch a few from up close, which is right about here. I'm using AIG traffic. Wow, look at that. Look at that, guys. Look at the mountains. Oh my goodness. Could you imagine doing this at sunset? I wonder what the timing requirements are. I can't imagine. You can't do this at night, can you? Can't imagine. Nigel nailed it. Yeah, that was a spot on landing, indeed. All right, we're gonna watch. We'll watch one from inside. Oh wow. We'll watch a couple touchdowns, and then I'm gonna wind it all the way back. I'm gonna save this replay. I'm actually gonna save this one. Wind it all the way back. Oh, yeah, I disconnected from VATSIM Pascal. But this is absolutely stunning. Look at the terrain you're in. I mean, yeah, you pass the DA. When you lose an engine here, whatever happens, you are committed to landing. Because you're basically, this is a one-way ticket down, man. You pop one here, one rolls back on you. I don't know if you're getting out. Do not think you are getting out. Wow. No other flight today, Andres MT. I will probably be back. I will be back this week. It will either be tomorrow or Wednesday. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you are subscribed and your notifications are on. I do not have a set schedule. I try to stream around my work and, of course, my family life at home. So we're doing a Cusco run tomorrow. We're getting a bunch of meat ready for 4th of July. We're going to have a big cookout. So doing a Cusco run tomorrow. I may stream. If I stream tomorrow, maybe a little bit later in the afternoon. Might do some GA stuff. But I'm thinking Wednesday is going to be the day for the next big stream. We will either take the Neo out of here or we will take the 146 out of here. One of the two. I think we might take the Neo because we haven't been in the Neo in a long time. We'll do a full yoga Neo takeoff. All right, let's see how we did here. The last flight coming into Cusco is at 8:55 p.m. All right, cool. Dougal, I appreciate you recommending La Paz, man. I hope you're here for it on Wednesday, my friend. Oh yeah, nice touchdown. Okay, no spoilers, no spoilers. Pause it. Go back. Let's watch it again. Let's watch the touchdown. But Dougal, that's where we're headed next. All right, let's see how we did here. Oh my gosh, beautiful. Costco is my wallet drainer. I love it. Callie Simmer, yeah, it's my wallet drainer too. I don't know if you have kids, but when you have 2 kids and a wife that just likes to buy stuff, Costco, you basically got to dedicate a paycheck to Costco. All right, let's see how we did. This said 253. We're going to see about that. Pull it out. Nice round out. Ooh, maybe. I don't know. That seemed pretty good. Nice center line there, and then we get the old wonky. Oh, but that is beautiful. Pause. Let's see that one more time. Really? 250? I guess. Let's see what we're doing vertical speed-wise on touchdown. Let's keep an eye on the VSI. I'm just curious on this here. It might have been 250. It might have been. That high density altitude, the airplane does not like to float as much. Oh, I mean, I don't know about that. Oh, that looked good, though. Pause it. I'm trying not to let the animations come out so we can watch it from full length. We'll watch one more here. Either way, I am 100% happy with that landing. Good center line, no float. It might have been a 200. I guess I can't really argue with it. Little firm. Was definitely a little bit firmer from the outside than I thought. I keep telling my wife the Cusco membership expired, but she just renews it. Places a nightmare. I know. Alright. Yeah, it might have been about a 200. But you see, real quick before I let you guys go. I mean, this is a very good visualization of high density altitude. I'm flaring the airplane. You see, I'm just like the nose is coming up, but the effect is much less than if you were landing at sea level. The airplane just kind of wants to keep coming down. So that's something we brief. That's something we brief when we do a high density altitude landing or flying to a high density altitude airport, because you know, we might want to flare early and hang on to it for a little bit. So that was absolutely stunning. I'm going to save this replay because I'm probably going to want to watch it again at some point. That's one thing I do like about this flight recorder is you can save the replays. But a little bit of flap shake out there. This is absolutely stunning. Thank you, Jeff L, for recommending this airport. I know a couple of you recommended this as well. I am absolutely blown away by the scenery down here, the terrain down here, the countryside is just incredible. I really feel like I feel like I should go outside and be in the mountains right now. I mean, that's how awesome this sim is, the immersion it brings in. It's just so much fun. Thank you guys for hanging out with me and experiencing this with me today live. Make sure your notifications are on. It should be Wednesday. Be checking back on the channel. I'll try to get it posted as soon as I have a firm time schedule. We're going to head down to Bolivia. So, shout out to all my donations, my members. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. You guys are absolutely awesome. You guys make the channel go around. Real bills have to be paid here to run this channel. So you guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you for all the new subscribers. Everyone else just hanging out with me in chat. Hit that like button for me on the way out. You guys are absolutely awesome. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. Don't forget the high altitude landing button. We have see ya emojis now in chat. Let's get them going. Until next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm B1. See ya!